last year, I think one of the things that we got out of the process in Malmö was this helping us to kind of start formulating our sustainable economic development strategy. That was one of the key outputs for me from having the Sustainable Innovation Conference in Malmö. We also had a joint event immediately after the conference finished with another process where we were working with WWF around climate innovation, where we had a joint workshop with people from the conference and people from the WWF partnership globally, which spawned some really interesting ideas. And some of those ideas then we've been working on further on this kind of sustainable innovation platform, the city as a test bed. So that idea really took form last year in Malmö. And this year, as I say, I haven't really sorted out my ideas yet, but there are some things going on in here somewhere where there's some interesting. There's been a few interesting bits and pieces that have been lifted up over the last few days, not least around the need to start focusing maybe less on technology, which is something I've been sort of very much thinking about for a number of years. It's not an issue of technology. The technology's there. We can create a sustainable planet if we wanted to, and if we knew how we were going to do the business models to get it to work. And I think the real issue now is, do we really want to? And how do we do it how do we get the business model to operate? The technology's there. So the innovation is needed around those kind of the social processes, if you like, the business processes, to actually get it to work. And that's the key challenge, I think, now.
We are all looking for the Holy Grail, for this solution that will solve all the problems at once, and such thing does not exist. What we are learning is that we need tailor-made solutions for a specific context and specific situations. So ideally we will have a right combination of solution coming together in order to move towards a more sustainable society or towards a more low carbon society.
My specialty is cities, and I am deputy chairman of a group that signed an agreement in Beijing last Thursday, where 6 Chinese cities and 6 American cities will collaborate to compare notes on technology. They'll measure their carbon footprint, and then they'll compare notes and discuss about which technologies they're going to use to reduce their carbon footprint, and then they'll audit the reduction in carbon that they enjoy. They'll see what's working and what isn't working, and that collaboration will take probably 3 years. When after 3 years they're seeing this works, that doesn't work, this works very well, that doesn't work so well, they will have a huge data bank of knowledge between these 12 cities, and then these 12 cities will mentor 120. And 2 years later, the 120 will mentor 1,200. And then the 1,200 will mentor 12,000, and so on. So the seed has been planted.
Doing a life cycle carbon footprint on a product is a strong indicator as to the general health of the product relative to the environmental issues. So, and it's more streamlined, and it's a little easier to do than a full-blown life cycle. It's I think, a very important first step in moving toward more and more information on our products. Beyond carbon, this thing that's coming up beyond carbon or next is the hydrological footprint. So you're looking at the water embodied in a product and how much water is used in the whole life cycle manufacture of a product as well. So I see those two things kind of coming one right after the other, and we're going to be getting much more in the way of rich databases on carbon content of materials and the hydrological footprint or the water footprint of materials as well.
We need to shift design away from designing single-use products to more permanent products and thinking through the entire life cycle. You see this in the most recent Apple product. The new Apple laptops are made from a single piece of milled aluminium, which is recoverable. Aluminium is a great product because it's generally quite recyclable. Should you drink your drinks out of an aluminium can? Well, actually, aluminium is recyclable. It's got quite a good recycle rate overall, but it's quite energy intensive. Alternatively, you use paper, but that might be bad for trees. But paper you can dispose of quite easily as well. Plastic bottles probably not so good. Glass is quite good. It's recoverable, but it's also energy intensive and water intensive. So it depends where the issue is. If it's energy, then you pick one drinking vessel. If it's water, you pick another one. If it's wood and carbon, you pick another one. And so it's quite a difficult environment. Those variables are going to change over time.
I'm promoting a massive reforestation program through a different kind of biofuel. And I can see that reforestation is really important. Carbon capture and storage everybody's talking about, but trees have been doing it for millions of years. Trees know exactly how to do carbon capture and storage. So we have a very interesting tree that grows up to 21 feet in 1 year, takes huge amounts of carbon out of the atmosphere. It's a pollarded tree, which means that when you harvest it, you don't rip it out from the roots, but the roots stay in situ and it grows from its own trunk. This is very important because a lot of mudslides and things like that are happening because hillsides have been stripped of trees. There are no roots to hold the soil together, so you get massive loss of topsoil. So this is a special tree, and we have extraordinary high aspirations that over the next 3 or 4 years we can make a major difference with it, and we have some very exciting plans.